Welcome to this edition of Formation Matters. Today I'm very happy to present to all of you Brother John Wilson. Brother John, could you tell us a little bit who you are, what you're doing?
So, like Philip said, my name is Brother John Wilson. I'm from Ontario, Canada, and this is my first year in the humanities here in Cheshire.
Very good. Today we're going to be talking about something that I think is helpful for all of us about decision making, and especially as that's founded in having firm convictions. So, Brother John, could you tell us a little bit, like, what's your personal decision making process? Or is decision making something easy for you, something hard? What do you think?
I think it definitely can be something that's challenging for me because oftentimes a list kind of forms in my head of things I need to do, or more than a list, it's just kind of a random assortment of things. So often I come to the moment where I need to decide how I'm going to use my time, but it can be a big challenge because I don't have clear what are my priorities, what needs to be done first. And so sometimes I can get almost a little paralyzed, not knowing, okay, what do I do first, right? So that way, decision making can sometimes be a little intimidating for me in a way.
Okay. And something you mentioned there, this kind of decision paralysis, that's actually something that a lot of people mention, a lot of people feel. So what you're experiencing, it's nothing strange or nothing out of the ordinary. And I think that something that can help a lot is that a lot of times part of our decision making problem is that we don't really know what we want, right? We don't have a clear list of priorities that helps us to kind of filter all the different requests for our time, because we're all being constantly bombarded by requests for our time, whether it be we get onto the internet, we have all these advertisements coming out, or we're with our friends, or we're with other people and they're asking us to do things. We all have a lot of requests for our time, and so we need to have clear convictions that help us set up our priorities, and that will help a lot at the time of actually making decisions. And so I think it might be good to kind of look at the genesis of a conviction. Where do you think that convictions come from?
I think they come from what we believe, what we hold is important. Um, I mean, obviously, that's something that is probably born of over time, right? It's not something that can be changed just in a moment or anything. But I think, yeah, probably from those things that we hold most important and really value in our hearts.
Exactly. So that's something that's very important. A conviction begins with what we believe, our beliefs, right? Now, what we see is that for a lot of people, a lot of the time, their beliefs maybe don't translate so well into their convictions. And that's why at the hour of actually acting, they have so much difficulty, right? Whether that be the actual decision making or actually carrying out what they thought they believed. Something that was very clear to me and something that I've seen a lot of people is the belief I should go to Sunday Mass every week, right? A lot of people believe this. It's something they've been taught where they're growing up, but Sunday morning, maybe I didn't set the alarm, maybe I'm really tired, maybe Saturday night got a little long, whatever else it might be, and that belief kind of gets left by the wayside. Now, something that can really change that is when it becomes a conviction, and then where I actually begin forming the habit of going to Sunday Mass. And Brother John said something that's so important. I have to value my beliefs. So, Brother John, what would you do in order to kind of translate those beliefs into convictions? What would be something that you could do to kind of motivate yourself to really value that which you say you believe?
Well, I think probably one way would be to do exactly what we're talking about is to try to apply them to my daily life and how how I'm connecting what I believe or what I hold is important with how I'm making my decisions. So, I mean, I think ultimately it probably just requires a little time of reflection, both reflecting on what are those convictions, but then also reflecting on the concrete things in my daily life. Okay, what are the things that I want to do in my day, need to do in my day, but then how do those connect with what I hold as important and what I really value?
Right, and I think that's something that is great. And one of the values or kind of added bonuses that it gives to us is it actually reduces the level of stress quite a bit. Because when I have to decide every single moment of my day what I'm going to be doing, it's just all this kind of barrage of mental stress. But if I have my priorities clear, if I have my convictions clear, Well, then as I go throughout the day, a lot of my decisions are basically already made for me. For example, if on Sunday I know that I'm going to Sunday Mass, well, then it's not this big, kind of internal battle to see if I'm going to go or not. I already know I'm going to go to Sunday Mass. And so it's one less decision I have to be struggling with. And so in that sense, convictions can really bring a lot of peace to our lives. Well, I think that's a really good insight into how convictions can help us with our own decision making. And we really want to see that process of beliefs being kind of transformed into convictions, and that those are carried out in our behaviors, what we're actually doing. That's also going to influence our attitudes. And we want to have kind of a good lineup between belief, conviction, behavior, and attitude. And when these are all, kind of lined up like ducks in a row, well, then we find that there's a lot more interior peace and a lot less struggle on the inside. Well, thank you very much, Brother John, for joining us today. And I'd like to thank all of you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, you can go ahead and give us a like, maybe write something in the comments box down below. And we will see you next week. God bless.
God bless.